Cat. A fox and a cat, traveling together, beguiled the tediousness of their journey by moralizing. "Of all the moral virtues," exclaimed the fox, "mercy is surely the noblest. What say you, my sage friend? Is it not so?" "Undoubtedly," replied the cat, with a most demure countenance. "Nothing is more becoming in a creature of any sensibility than compassion." While they were thus contemplating each other on the wisdom of their views, a wolf darted out from a wood upon a flock of sheep which were feeding in an adjacent meadow, and, without being in the least affected by the piteous cries of a poor lamb, devoured it before their eyes. "Horrible cruelty!" exclaimed the cat. "Why does he not feed on vermin, instead of making his barbarous meals on such innocent creatures?" The fox agreed with his friend in the observation, to which he added some very pathetic remarks on the odiousness of such conduct. Their indignation was rising in its warmth and zeal when they arrived at a little cottage by the wayside, where the tender-hearted fox immediately cast his eye upon a fine cock that was strutting about in the yard. And now, adieu moralizing. He leaped over the pails, and without any sort of scruple demolished his prize in an instant. In the meanwhile, a plump mouse, which ran out of the stable, totally put to flight our cat's philosophy, who fell to the repast without the least commiseration. It is a common habit to talk of what is right and good, and to do what is quite the reverse. The Ape and the Carpenter. An ape sat looking at a carpenter who was cleaving a piece of wood with two wedges, which he put into the cleft one after another as the split opened. The carpenter leaving his work half done, the ape must needs try his hand at log-splitting, and coming to the piece of wood, pulled out the wedge that was in it without knocking in the other. The wood, closing again, held the poor monkey by his forepaws so fast that he was not able to get away. The surly carpenter, when he returned, knocked the prisoner's brains out for meddling with his work. It is easier to get into mischief than to get out again. The Woodcock and the Mallard. A woodcock and a mallard were feeding together in some marshy ground at the tail of a mill pond. "Lord," said the squeamish woodcock, "in what a voracious and beastly manner do you devour all that comes before you! Neither snail, frog, toad, nor any kind of filth can escape the fury of your enormous appetite. All alike goes down, without measure and without distinction. What an odious vice is gluttony!" "Good lack," replied the mallard, "pray how came you to be my accuser? And whence has your excessive delicacy a right to censure my plain eating? Is it a crime to fill one's belly? Or is it not indeed a virtue rather to be pleased with the food which nature offers us? Surely I would sooner be charged with gluttony than with your finical and sickly appetite, on which you are pleased to ground your superiority of taste. What a silly vice is daintiness!" Thus endeavoring to palliate their respective passions, our epicures departed with a mutual contempt. The mallard, hasting to devour some garbage, which was in reality a bait, immediately gorged a hook through mere greediness and oversight, while the woodcock, flying through the glade in order to seek his favorite juices, was entangled in a net, spread across it for that purpose, falling each of them thus a sacrifice to their different but equal foibles. A voracious appetite and a fondness for dainties equally distract our attention from more material concerns.